By golly, it's amazing. It sounds like something you'd hear on the radio.
Presenting the transcription feature.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
It's 8:30 New York time. Time to wake up, America, and stump the expert.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve.
And now meet Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie.
It's the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented transcribed by the makers of Rexall drug products.
And now it's time to meet the men from the ministry.
The Armed Forces Radio and Television Service presents the Bob Hope Show with Les Brown and his band of renown. And yours truly, Bill Goodwin. And now here he is, Bob Hope.
Greetings, I'm Kevin Lauderdale. It's time to think about Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you 2 Thanksgiving-themed comedies. Good old radio comedies are always good for Thanksgiving and Christmas. First up are Miss Brooks, and you'll notice that some things never change. If you're a teacher, like Connie Brooks, played by Eve Arden, you're always short on money, and it's always hard to find an economical Thanksgiving turkey. I just have one note. The Lost Weekend was a 1945 movie about an alcoholic, starring Ray Milland, and in one of the sequences he has hallucinations about bats. From November 19th, 1950, our Miss Brooks, Thanksgiving Turkey.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks under the direction of Al Lewis. Well, most of us have already made our plans for celebrating Thanksgiving. But our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, hadn't given it much thought up until last Friday morning when she sat down to breakfast with her landlady.
Well, it's only 6 more days till Thanksgiving, Mrs. Davis.
I can hardly believe it, Connie. A whole year has gone by since last Thanksgiving.
Isn't it awful? The years do that every year.
It seems like yesterday that I was preparing our last Thanksgiving dinner. We didn't have very much money to spend on our shopping, but we celebrated just the same.
Oh, I'll never forget that meal, Mrs. Davis. A whole roast stuffed pepper.
I feel very badly about not being able to spend Thanksgiving with you this year, Connie, but I've accepted an invitation from my sister Angela.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Davis.
I'd ask you to join me at her place, but she hasn't been at all well lately. So we're just having the immediate family, my brother Victor and myself. Oh, poor Angela. It seems the older she gets, the more absent-minded she gets.
Yes, you mentioned it to me, Mrs. Davis.
Lately, she's been worse than ever. Why, sometimes she can be talking right along and suddenly, right in the middle of a sentence...
Yes? Right in the middle of a sentence?
Right in the middle of a sentence.
Right in the middle of a sentence what?
Right in the middle of a sentence what?
You've been seeing a little too much of Angela.
Angela?
She's your brother Victor's absent-minded sister. But don't worry about my holiday, Mrs. Davis. I'll get my pearly teeth into something on Thanksgiving Day.
How about Mr. Boynton?
Yum, yum. Oh, you mean spending the day with him? Well, he hasn't asked me as yet, but I'll toss him a hint at school today.
I'm certain that he'll invite you out, Connie, and then you can be sure of your turkey and all the trimmings.
I don't know about the turkey, but if Mr. Boynton and I eat out, I'm a cinch to take my usual trimming.
Does Mr. Boynton always insist on going Dutch, Connie?
I wouldn't say that, Mrs. Davis. It's just a coincidence that I'm buying him a pair of wooden shoes for Christmas. Oh, but why worry about it now? As Madison's star athlete Stretch Snodgrass told me in English class the other day, Live good in the present, the future never done nothing to nobody. Stretch is a nice kid, though. He seemed genuinely concerned about my spending Thanksgiving alone. He told me he would have asked me to his home, but his folks are going out of town for the weekend with the Dentons. Oh, that must be Walter now. He's driving me down to school. Coming, Walter!
I'll clear off the table and get started on the dishes, Connie. Say hello to Walter for me.
All right, Mrs. Davis. Come on in, Walter.
I step over this threshold with fear and trepidation.
What do you mean?
I am the editor-in-chief of the Madison Monitor. True?
True.
Well, I made the mistake of letting Stretch Snodgrass set up some of the type yesterday. And he sneaked an item into the personal column that cannot but be a source of great mortification to someone very near and dear to both our hearts.
Who?
You.
Me?
None other. I brought a copy with me. Look at this paragraph, Miss Brooks.
Let's see it. To who it may concern. That's Stretch, all right. It says, it is pitiful to be alone on Thanksgiving Day. If there is one way how people should show their real Thanksgivingness, it is by sharing their dinner with some poor, unfortunate fellow human person who is alone. Without mentioning any names. Oh, well, that's a relief.
Keep reading.
Without mentioning any names, if somebody wants to share his or her meal with this lonely human person, all you have to do is walk up and say, you can have Thanksgiving dinner with me, Miss Brooks.
Well, Miss Brooks, isn't that awful? Are you going to punish Stretch?
I'm not making any snap judgments, Walter. First, let's see if this ad brings any results.
Excuse me, Miss Brooks, but I'd like to talk to you before you go into your classroom.
I think that might be arranged, Mr. Boynton.
I just read this rather peculiar notice in the school paper, and I wondered...
Oh, that's a little prank that Stretch played on me, Mr. Boynton. Just pay a lot of attention to it.
When I read it, Miss Brooks, I made up my mind I'd be the first one to talk to you about it.
Really? How nice, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, it isn't easy to be alone on Thanksgiving, on a holiday.
No, you're so right.
Many's the Thanksgiving dinner I've eaten alone. But when I saw that notice in the paper, I said to myself, by George Philip Boynton...
I didn't know your name was George Philip Boynton.
It is, and that's just an expression I use. As I was saying, I said to myself, this is one Thanksgiving you don't have to eat alone. Now, what I want to ask you isn't easy for me, Miss Brooks.
Maybe I can help. I promise not to order anything over $1.50. Please continue.
Since I saw that paragraph in the Monitor, I wondered if...
I'll make it $1 even, and I'll leave the tip. Please, Mr. Boynton, just ask me what you want to.
All right, I will.
Good.
Miss Brooks, if that notice brings you more than one invitation to dinner, could I make use of the extra one?
You wanted to see me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks. Sit down, won't you, please? Take this leather chair by my desk. That's it. Are you nice and comfy?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, but how are you?
Splendid, thanks. This is the time of year when we should all be imbued with the true Thanksgiving spirit. That's why I've summoned you to my office, Miss Brooks, to tell you that in spite of the inconveniences you have wreaked upon me, I harbor no ill will.
Well, that's very nice to hear, Mr. Conklin. I have been the source of annoyance to you on occasion, I suppose, but I didn't...
I am thankful for everything that's happened to me in the past year. Take the time you dropped that typewriter on my toe. I just give thanks that it didn't land higher and fracture my whole foot.
That was careful of me, wasn't it?
Then when I think back to the time you stepped on my eyeglasses and crushed them, I give thanks that they weren't on my nose at the time. But my main purpose in calling you here is to inform you that I have read the notice in this morning's Monitor.
Oh, that's just a joke, Mr. Conklin. It was written by one of the pupils in my English class.
Yes, I could tell from its construction. However, I want you to know, Miss Brooks, that I was quite touched by that item. The more so since I, too, will be all alone this Thanksgiving.
But what about your daughter and Mrs. Conklin?
But they're spending the day with Harriet's grandmother, my wife's dear mother. We asked her to join us for the holiday, but she lives almost 100 miles away, and she thinks she's got high blood pressure or something. So nothing would do but that Harriet and Martha visit her. Bless her crotchety old hide.
But why aren't you going along?
What? Me make a trip like that with my blood pressure? The doctor has absolutely forbidden it. In any event, when I read that notice, Miss Brooks, a thought occurred to me which might make Thanksgiving more enjoyable for both of us.
Both of us?
Yes. Since we're both going to be alone, I'd like to ask you... that is, I wonder if you'd... what I have to say isn't easy for me, Miss Brooks.
Maybe I can help. I promise not to order anything over $1.50.
Loneliness can do more to undermine a person's morale than almost anything. And, well, if you'd... that is, if possible...
I'll make it $1 and I'll leave the tip.
Please don't misunderstand, Miss Brooks. What I want to ask you is... well, if that notice brings you more than one invitation, could I make use of the extra one?
Why should you be an exception? Oh, of course, Mr. Conklin. Now, if you'll excuse me, sir, I've got to get to my classroom.
Very well, you may go. Be sure and keep me apprised of all results, Miss Brooks.
Yes, sir. I'm sure we'll be pelted with turkey dinners. Spirit of Thanksgiving. Are you comfy, Miss Brooks? Take this chair, Miss Brooks. Of all the...
Hi, Miss Brooks. I see that you just came out of Daddy's office. Is he very disgruntled this morning?
No, Harriet. He's not gruntling any louder than usual. He does seem a bit put out at having to eat Thanksgiving dinner alone.
Oh, but he's not going to. Grandmother's coming down to our place after all. We're going to surprise Daddy.
Oh, that should do it.
He's so sentimental about holidays. Now he'll be able to do his Thanksgiving carving just like always. It'll be loads of fun. I've already invited Walter Denton over.
Good. I can't think of anyone your father would rather carve.
I know he's not crazy about Walter, but during the holiday season, Daddy's always a little more mellow. I'm going to do some of the shopping today. Mother gave me $5 for a turkey.
That doesn't seem like much, Harriet. How big a turkey are you planning on getting?
Oh, just a nice 8-pounder.
But will that be enough to go around? Mr. Boynton's a pretty big eater, you know.
Mr. Boynton? But he'll be eating with you, won't he?
He certainly will. And at what better place could he join me for Thanksgiving dinner than in the warm confines of your cozy dining room?
Well, I would like to invite you both, Miss Brooks, but I've only got this $5. That's all Mother said to spend.
Tell you what, Harriet. Give me the $5 and I'll see that we get a big enough turkey for all of us.
Well, if you really want to come, Miss Brooks, I'd certainly like to have you, and I'm sure Mother would, too. But there have been times when you and Daddy...
Don't you see, Harriet, if Walter's coming, you'll be doing your daddy a good turn by inviting me.
Why, how do you mean, Miss Brooks?
With both of us there, we'll be an antidote for each other.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath.
What a toothpaste.
While it cleans your teeth.
Colgate toothpaste.
Cleans your breath.
What a toothpaste.
While it cleans your teeth.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best. More than 2 years' research showed the Colgate way of brushing teeth right after eating helped stop more decay for more people than ever before reported in dentifrice history. Yes, the Colgate way stopped tooth decay best. Better than any other home method of oral hygiene. No other dentifrice, ammoniated or not, has proof of such results. And you should know that Colgate's, while not mentioned by name, was the one and only toothpaste used in the research on tooth decay recently reported in Reader's Digest. So always follow the Colgate way to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and stop tooth decay best.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath
What a toothpaste.
while it cleans your teeth.
And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best.
Well, when lunch period arrived, as luck and I would have it, Mr. Boynton brought his tray right to my table in the cafeteria. In spite of the fact that he had a nice lunch before him, he didn't begin eating, but sat with his fork poised and stared into my eyes with a deep and absorbing emotion. It was a terribly romantic moment, as Mr. Boynton leaned across the table and in a voice choked with passion said,
Get any extra invites to Thanksgiving dinner?
No, and get your fork out of my cottage cheese.
I'm sorry. I was just wondering about that notice in the monitor.
Well, you can forget about the notice, Mr. Boynton. I've wangled us both an invitation to join the Conklins for the holiday.
Oh, say, that's wonderful. Mrs. Conklin's a fine cook.
There's only one catch. We've got exactly $5 with which to buy a turkey that'll feed 6 people.
Well, how in the world are we going to do that, Miss Brooks?
You and I can chip in another $5 between us.
There must be some other way.
Well, there isn't. Not unless I put up the entire amount, and I can't unless I pawn my earrings again.
Oh, but Miss Brooks...
I wouldn't care if I hadn't had my ears pierced. You have no idea how drafty my lobes get in November.
Please, Miss Brooks, you won't have to pawn anything. There is a way we can get a good-sized young turkey very reasonably.
How?
By merely eliminating the butcher.
What do we do, buy the turkey from his parents?
Don't you see, Miss Brooks, we have to go after a live turkey. Well, they're much cheaper than in the stores. Why, we can probably pick one up for even less than $5.
Well, there's nothing to it. Of course not. All we have to do is find a young turkey who hasn't learned the value of money.
Once we get a good one, we can kill it ourselves, pluck the feathers, clean it, and dress it.
There must be some other way.
Believe me, this'll work, Miss Brooks. I know a place about 20 miles from here. A fellow named Tobin has a turkey farm. We'll drive out after school and see what he's got.
Say, it might be fun at that. A nice drive in the country.
Well, sure. The fresh air will be good for all of us.
All of us?
You, me, and my pet frog, McDougal. Well, he hasn't been at all well lately, Miss Brooks.
What's the trouble?
He can't seem to sleep.
Maybe he reads too late. I mean, where's he been sleeping?
Oh, his usual place, on a newspaper in his cage.
Well, there's your answer. How can anybody sleep with the news that's in the paper nowadays?
Well, old Tobin certainly gave us a nice gobbler for $5.
Yes, he did, but I still can't get too enthusiastic about having to execute it ourselves.
Oh, you just feel that way because she's a hen turkey. Tobin seemed quite attached to her, too. What was it he called her again?
Bernice. Oh, isn't that cute? She knows her name.
Oh, that's nothing. Mac knows his name, too.
Your frog?
Of course. His cage is right beside you on the seat. Just pick it up and call to him.
Oh, that's ridiculous, Mr. Boynton. I'm not going to start any conversations with McDougal.
Did I tell you?
Well, if you don't mind, I'm putting him in the back with Bernice. There you go, Mac. You can keep each other company back there.
Oh, poor Mac. He's been so apathetic from lack of sleep, he probably won't even notice Bernice.
From the saying, like father, like frog. But Bernice is very interested in Mac. Oh, isn't that cute? She's got her head right next to his cage.
Did What in the world is Mac doing?
You have just heard the frog's version of a wolf whistle.
That's one for the book. Mac is definitely smitten by that hen turkey. Say, what's going on in the back seat now, Miss Brooks?
Something that should be going on in the front seat. That is, they're getting better acquainted. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's asking her out to a dance.
That'd be quite a sight. Oh, actually, Bernice is much too tall for Mac.
Oh, I don't know. She's a natural for a barn dance. Do-si-do, now I ain't bluffing. Dance too hard and you'll lose your stuffing. Oh, calm down, Bernice. I was just kidding.
Now that we've got her, Miss Brooks, where are we supposed to take the turkey?
To the Conklin's backyard. Mr. and Mrs. Conklin are attending a tea party, so it won't spoil Mr. Conklin's surprise.
Will Harriet be there to give us a hand?
Uh-huh, and so will Walter. He's bringing his AXE. How do you like that? She can spell, too.
Careful with this crate, Walter. There's a slat loose on the side.
Yeah, I got it, Mr. Boynton. Now let's set it down in the driveway.
Oh, what a wonderful turkey.
Sorry, Mac. You'll have to wait in the car.
Oh, she's a beauty, all right. Absolutely inspiring. Oh, what a perfect combination. The lovely, graceful neck of a turkey and my trusty Boy Scout hatchet.
What a charming thought. You've been seeing too many kid shows on television. But if it has to be done, the quicker the better.
Right you are, Miss Brooks. Want a blindfold turkey?
No, but I do.
Look out, she's getting away.
Grab her wings, Walter. She's heading for the house.
Oh, I missed her. Oh, Miss Brooks, do something.
Don't look at me. I'm on her side.
She's going through the dining room window.
What made her do that?
Maybe she wants to try on one of the platters for size.
We've got to get her out of there before Daddy comes home. We want this to be a surprise. Come on in the side door.
Where could she have gone?
She doesn't seem to be in the dining room anymore.
Maybe she went into Daddy's study.
You look in there, Harriet, and Walter, you try the kitchen.
But where are you going to look?
I'll take the closet with Mr. Boynton. You kids go ahead.
But, Miss Brooks, you don't think the turkey really went into the closet, do you?
Who knows? It shouldn't take us more than 20 minutes to find out.
I think the turkey's definitely in this study somewhere. Take a look behind the couch, Walter.
Okay, Harriet. I'll sneak up on the little beauty with the stealth of a barefoot pilgrim.
That might be Daddy. He always forgets his key. Walter, you stay put behind that couch. Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton, follow me.
Where are you going to hide us?
In this clothes closet right across the hall. Quick, Miss Brooks, get in.
Okay.
Be right there. Hello, Daddy.
Forgot my key again, Harriet.
Where's Mother?
She's doing some shopping for tonight.
For dinner?
Oh, don't mention that word. I ate so much at that confounded tea party that I can hardly breathe. I'm going into my study and lie down on the couch for a while.
Oh, but you can't. I mean, well, you know what nightmares you get when you go to sleep after eating. Remember the time you thought there were bats in your bedroom?
That was after I saw Lost Weekend. Now, don't fuss around me, child. I can hardly keep my eyes open.
But, Daddy, wouldn't the bedroom be more comfortable?
I'd never make it up the stairs, Harriet. Just call me in an hour or so, please.
Oh, dear. Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton, come out of the closet.
Go away.
Did I hear your father say he was going to take a nap in the study, Harriet?
That's right, Mr. Boynton. And I'm almost positive the turkey's in there.
Well, we can't be sure. I'm going to look around the back of the house.
Okay, Mr. Boynton. Miss Brooks, let's tiptoe up to the study door and listen. He's asleep already, thank goodness.
Well, let's open the door then. Take another peek.
Look, Miss Brooks. The turkey just came out of that closet. She's walking toward the couch.
Now he's starting to wake up.
Daddy's looking at the turkey.
Now the turkey's looking at Daddy. I wonder which one will scream first.
What's that? Oh, it's a nightmare. Oh, I should never have tried to sleep after all that food. Look, turkey. Nice turkey. I know you're not there. But please go away.
You stay here, Harriet. I've got an idea. Mr. Conklin. Hello, Mr. Conklin.
What? Miss Brooks, is that you? Are you really here?
What's the difference as long as it's a nightmare? I heard you moaning in your sleep, sir, and I thought maybe...
Never mind what you thought. Get this turkey out of my study.
What turkey?
What turkey? What was that?
Maybe your dream turkey has an allergy.
The turkey just walked out the door. That sneeze came from behind the couch.
It's just me, Mr. Conklin. Me and my trusty hatchet.
Oh, God! Dream or no dream, boy, there's no reason to go berserk. We've had our differences, surely. But deep down in my heart, I've always had a warm spot for you.
Please, Mr. Conklin, don't get hysterical. Why don't you lie down and close your eyes?
How can I close my eyes with Walter standing over me with a hatchet?
Walter? Walter who?
I don't call my doctor when I wake up, I'll never go to sleep again. Oh, well, I might as well relax.
That's the idea, Mr. Conklin. Take a nice, long snooze.
Miss Brooks, Bernice just ran out in the backyard and... I beg your pardon, Mr. Conklin. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh, that's all right, Boynton. You'll disappear in a few minutes.
Disappear?
Mr. Conklin's been dreaming, and let's keep it that way.
It's all right, Miss Brooks. The turkey ran right into our garage, and I closed the door.
What's going on here?
We just wanted to surprise you, sir.
May I say, you have?
Please don't be angry, Daddy. Miss Brooks saved us a lot of money by getting a live turkey. I only gave her $5.
$5?
Yes, sir. You see, you're not going to be alone after all. That was the surprise Harriet planned. Not only is your mother-in-law coming down for Thanksgiving, but we're all joining you, too.
And now I have a dispatch for you. After the tea, I saw my doctor, and he put me on a strict vegetarian diet. Harriet and her mother are going to spend the holidays with Granny as planned. As for you, Miss Brooks, kindly hand over the $5 my daughter gave you.
But we paid that for the turkey.
You can have the turkey. All I want is my money.
But we can't get a refund now. The used turkey market is shot to pieces. What will Mr. Boynton and I do with an entire turkey?
That, Miss Brooks, is your concern. For once, I might add, the joke is on you.
Well, I've celebrated some Thanksgivings in my time, but this is the biggest bird I ever received.
Eve Arden returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives you Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Better than a soap, better than a liquid, Luster Cream is a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight? Yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is Eve Arden.
70 little children in one classroom. That's the kind of critical situation your community faces, unless it can recruit new elementary school teachers immediately. Our increased school population also needs urgently more buildings, more textbooks, more supplies than ever. Better schools make better communities. So for improved educational facilities, join and work with your local civic groups and school boards. For further information, write to the National Citizens Commission for the Public Schools, 2 West 45th Street, New York 19, New York. Good night.
Fern Smith reminding you to tune in next week to another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written by Al Lewis, with the music of Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, and Gloria Macmillan.
Doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days. Yes, 36 leading skin specialists proved in tests on 1,285 different women that Palmolive soap facials using nothing but Palmolive brought new complexion beauty to 2 women out of 3. Just wash your face 3 times daily with Palmolive soap, each time for 60 seconds, massaging Palmolive's beauty lather onto your skin. Then rinse and pat dry. So start your Palmolive facials today. Remember, doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days.
If you like mysteries that are as full of chuckles as chills, be sure to hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday over this same network. Don't miss the exciting and laughable adventures of these amateur detectives. Hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday night. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Jack Benny. CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now here's some Jack Benny, just a few notes. Lydia Pinkham's were sort of a patent medicine for women's complaints, generally considered snake oil quackery. It was popular among older women. Harry Von Zell and Jimmy Wallington were fellow radio announcers on the same level as Don Wilson. And Dinah Shore, of course, the singer and actress, whose career lasted more than 50 years, including from the 1970s to the 1990s, a stint as a talk show host. When shooting dice, or playing craps, if you get something the hard way, you got the same number twice. So, for instance, you can't really get 7 the hard way, because the only way to get 7 is a 3 and a 4 or a 5 and a 2. But you can get 4 the hard way, that's 2 2s, 6 the hard way, 2 3s, 8 the hard way, 2 4s, things like that. It's hard because it's just statistically less likely than any of the other number combinations. From November 29th, 1953, the Jack Benny Program, Thanksgiving Dinner.
The Jack Benny Program, transcribed and presented by Lucky Strike.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. For Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, richer tasting, fine tobacco.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike.
Friends, this is Don Wilson to tell you that Lucky's win again. That's right, Lucky's win again in a national smoking survey among college students. Last year, a survey was made in leading colleges throughout the country, which showed that smokers in those colleges preferred Lucky's to any other cigarette. This year, another nationwide survey was made, a representative survey of all students in regular colleges from coast to coast. Based on thousands of actual student interviews, this survey shows that Lucky's lead again, lead over all other brands, regular or king size, and by a wide margin. The number one reason, this year as last, Lucky's better taste. Yes, Lucky's do taste better. First, because they're made of light, naturally mild, good-tasting tobacco. LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And then, Lucky's are made better, made round and firm and fully packed to draw freely, smoke evenly. Actually made to taste better. After all, smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. And the fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. So be happy. Go Lucky. Get better taste with a carton of Lucky's.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don. Ladies and gentlemen, last Thursday was Thanksgiving, and Jack invited his whole gang over for dinner. But let's go back to the day before Thanksgiving. As we look in on Jack's home, he and Rochester are taking inventory to make sure that they have enough of everything for the big event. They're checking all the items in the pantry. As Rochester calls them off, Jack is writing them down.
2 cans of corned beef hash.
2 cans of corned beef hash.
3 cans of cranberry sauce.
3 cans of cranberry sauce.
2 bottles of A1 sauce.
2 bottles of A1 sauce.
97 bottles of olives.
90... Wait a minute, Rochester. Isn't that the same amount of olives that we had last year?
Yeah, we don't use any since Phil Harris left the show.
Oh, yes, Bob Crosby isn't a martini man. Continue, Rochester.
2 bottles of vanilla extract.
2 bottles of vanilla extract.
1 bottle of Lydia Pinkham's.
1 bottle of Lydia Pinkham's.
12 slices of white bread.
12 slices of white bread.
7 slices of whole wheat bread.
7 slices of whole wheat bread.
Oh, say, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
When we come to the toothpicks, let's just estimate.
Okay for the plain ones, but the colored ones will count. Now, let's finish this.
Yes, sir. 6 bottles of ketchup.
6 bottles of ketchup.
6 bottles of chili sauce.
6 bottles of chili sauce.
3 cans of Puss in Boots cat food.
3 cans of Puss in Boots cat food.
Boss, why have we got that?
I borrowed it from the Colemans.
But we haven't got a cat. Why did you borrow it?
Well, they were out of butter, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed. We'll use it someday. Continue.
1 sack of Idaho potatoes.
1 sack of Idaho... Rochester, answer the door. I'll finish the inventory.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Rochester.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston. Welcome to Ralph's Supermarket.
What?
Come right in.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What are you doing up on that stool?
I'll be finished in a minute. I'm just putting some stuff back on the top shelf. Would you please hand me those 2 jars of caviar?
Oh, fine. Fish eggs from a frightened mackerel, and he calls it caviar.
Mary, why do you have to come over here and...
Jack, look out! The stool! The cans are falling!
Ooh.
Jack, are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. What are you laughing at?
With those fish eggs in your ear, you look like you're going upstream to spawn.
Upstream to spawn, upstream to spawn. A man nearly kills himself, and you talk about romance. Now, I don't care. Answer that, will you, please?
Okay. Hello, Mr. Benny's residence.
Hey, Mary, how come you're answering the phone? You got new clause in your contract?
No, Bob. Jack would have answered it, but he can't. He's lying on the floor.
Oh, holy smoke, he's getting as bad as my musicians.
It isn't that at all. He fell off a stool.
Oh, well, that's what the boys in the band do.
Look, Bob, it's kind of hard to explain, but he fell while checking some stuff in the pantry.
The pantry?
Yeah, he's making sure he's enough of everything for his big Thanksgiving dinner. You're coming, aren't you?
Oh, sure. I bought my ticket 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was smart. There's no sense waiting till the last minute when the scalpers get hold of them. Just a minute, Bob. I'll let you talk to Jack. Jack, it's Bob Crosby.
I'll take it. Hello, Bob.
Say, Jack, I wonder if you could give me a couple of extra tickets to next week's broadcast.
Well, I might be able to scrape up two. Who are they for?
Well, to tell you the truth, they're for Remley, but he was afraid to ask you.
Well, he should be after what happened last time. He gave that ticket to his girl, and she almost started a riot in the studio. Imagine her walking up and down the aisle doing a thing like that.
Oh, but that wasn't her fault, Jack. The band never should have played A Pretty Girl Is Like a Melody.
All right, but where did she get the balloons? Where did she get the balloons?
Where'd you get the pin?
Never mind. All right, Bob, I'll give you the tickets at rehearsal.
Thank you, Jack. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bob always has to call me when I'm busy. Oh, Rochester.
What is it, boss?
I knocked over all these cans when I fell off the stool. Will you pick them up while I go on with the inventory?
Yes, sir.
Mary, will you please help me? I'll call off the items and you write them down.
Oh, sure, Jack.
5 bottles of vinegar.
5 bottles of vinegar.
3 bottles of real lemon juice.
3 bottles of real lemon juice.
4,500 cans of Minute Maid orange juice.
4,500 cans of Minute Maid orange juice.
Wasn't that a wonderful guest spot I did on Bing's program? I had to give 500 cans to my agent, you know. Now, let's keep going, Mary. 1 leg of lamb.
1 leg of lamb.
2 packages of bacon.
2 packages of bacon.
1 side of beef.
Jack, that's me.
Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Don.
Jack, I know you're very busy, but I brought the Sportsman Quartet with me. They want to run over the commercial for the program.
That's nice. And by the way, Don, I hope I didn't forget to invite you and the Sportsman to Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, no, you invited us. Jack, I feel awfully popular this year.
Popular?
Yeah, beside your invitation, I've been invited to Harry Von Zell's house, Dinah Shore's house, and Jimmy Wallington's house for Thanksgiving dinner, too.
Which one are you going to?
All of them.
Oh, silly me. Well, Don, I'm really kind of busy getting things ready for my dinner.
Well, Jack, this commercial won't take very long, and it's in keeping with the Thanksgiving spirit.
Oh, well, then let's hear it.
All right. Take it, fellas.
I thank you, my darling. I offer thanks to you, dear. Thanks for all the lovely delight I found in your embrace. I'm thankful, though I know it's ending all too soon. And thanks for unforgettable nights I never can replace, and memories that linger like a haunting tune. It is better to have loved you, dear, and lost than never to have loved at all. It is better, for no matter what the cost, I held the world in sway, an emperor for a day. And thanks for all those luckies we shared, each puff a real delight. Now thanks to you, a lucky is a small highlight. Light a lucky, it's a fresher, smoother smoke that's made of fine tobacco too. Puff a lucky, you like Lucky's better taste, and there are no loose ends to ever annoy your friends. So thanks again for putting me wise to smoking paradise, for changing me to LSMFT. My thanks, I really thank you. Thanks for all those good old lucky strikes.
That was great, Don. Very, very good.
Ah, thanks, Jack. Well, guess I better be getting on home.
Well, I'll walk to the door with you.
Okay.
Say, Don, I've been wanting to ask you something for a long time.
What is it, Jack?
Well, even though the Sportsmen have been with me 5 years now, I never did find out how they formed their group. Funny, I've never asked you about that.
That's quite an interesting story, Jack. It started up in Las Vegas, you see.
Las Vegas?
Yeah. 2 of the boys were singing as a duet in the Flamingo, and 2 of them were singing as a duet at the Sahara.
Uh-huh.
And just by chance, they got together and formed a quartet.
Well, I'll be darned. 2 and 2. They made 4 the hard way, didn't they? Well, so long, Don. See you and the boys Thursday.
So long.
Well, I better go back and finish the inventory. Say, Mary.
Just a minute, Jack. Go ahead, Rochester.
12 cans of crushed pineapple.
12 cans of crushed pineapple.
19 cans of condensed milk.
19 cans of condensed milk.
2,456 cans.
Cans? Cans of what?
Just cans. Mr. Benny don't throw nothing away.
Certainly not. I paint them and hang them on Christmas trees. Now, Mary, I can finish this up with Rochester, so...
Shall I answer it, boss?
No, don't bother getting down from the stool. I'll answer it. I had to get this inventory finished before we...
Oh, Mr. Benny, I just came over to ask you if you...
hello,
would...
Dennis.
Hello. Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if you
How do you
would...
feel, kid?
Fine. Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if you...
Close
would...
the door, will you, Dennis?
Okay.
Now, Dennis, what did you... Dennis, how do you like that? He locked himself out. Oh, well, come in.
Oh, Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if it would be all right
Dennis,
with you
when
if
I told you to close the door, I meant you should come in first.
Oh.
What did you want to ask me?
If I could use your phone, our house is on fire.
Now, Dennis, don't be silly. If your house is on fire, why would you come all the way to Beverly Hills to use the phone?
I want the firemen to think I'm a big shot.
Dennis, close the door, will you? Just my luck. This time he stayed on the inside. Now, look, kid, I'm busy, so don't bother me with all these silly things you make up. Come on, Mary, let's finish this inventory.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yes, yes.
I thought you were cleaning house like my mother did the other day.
I'm not cleaning house.
Boy, did she get rid of a lot of stuff. She threw some old curtains out of the living room, a broken rocking chair out of the bedroom, and she even took the moose head out of the shower.
Now, Mary, let's... Dennis, she took what out of the shower?
The moose head.
You're going to ignore that, eh, Mary?
I certainly am.
My father put it there, but my
mother...
mother...
Wait a minute, Dennis, wait a minute. Hold it a minute. I know I'll regret asking you this. But why would your father put a moose head in the shower?
The other end would look silly.
Well, that I can understand. Now, Dennis, besides your house being on fire and your father being in a shower with a moose, what else is new?
Well, I've been rehearsing my song all week. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to. Anything. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hold it a minute, Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Mel Blanc.
Hello, Mel. What is it?
Mr. Benny, I've been on your program for 10 years now, and I ain't never complained before, but this time I gotta.
What's the matter?
It's about the part you got me playing in Sunday's show. Some part, oh, brother.
Now, wait a minute, Mel. Sunday's program is about Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah?
And what's the most important thing connected with Thanksgiving?
A turkey.
Well, that's the part you're playing.
Well, I don't like it. Always you make me an animal. Why can't I have a talking part and be a human being?
Look, Mel.
Sometimes you make me a rabbit.
A rabbit?
What's up, Doc?
Look, Mel.
Or a woodpecker?
Mel. Look, Mel. Mel, look, I'm busy.
Once you even cast me as an English horse.
An English horse?
Oh.
Mel, I'm sorry, just that you have to play the parts that are needed.
You may not realize it, Mr. Benny, but I'm pretty important to you.
Important?
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, you'd never get any place.
What are you talking about? I wouldn't get any place.
Every time you start that lousy Maxwell, I almost break a blood vessel going... That's all the things I do on a program. Now I want some talking parts. I'm a human being.
Now, look, Mel, either you stop this complaining or I'll let you go.
You wouldn't fire me.
All right. But Sunday you're playing a turkey, and that's final.
What made you so mad at Mel, Jack?
Oh, he's always complaining. I got a half a notion to fire him.
You better not. He's too important to the show.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Go ahead and sing, Dennis. Now, just sit down for a few minutes. I want to finish my inventory.
We've got it all listed, boss, and you've got plenty of everything for the Thanksgiving dinner.
Good. We won't have to do any shopping then.
How big a turkey did you get?
Turkey? I knew I forgot something.
You mean you forgot to buy the turkey?
Yeah, but there's still plenty of time.
Well, don't wait till the last minute. You ought to go and get one right now.
Well, will you go with me, Mary?
Sure, let's go.
I'll stay here.
Good. Gee, Mary, we're having a break in the weather lately. It's such a lovely day, you know?
Yes, we usually do have good weather around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, Mary, look over there at those boys playing football.
Hey, Joey, kick it to me now.
They're nice kids, Mary. They're in my Beverly Hills Beavers Club, you know? The bigger one is Stevie Kent. His folks live on the corner. Every time I go for a walk, I stop and talk with him. Hey, Stevie! Throw the ball over here!
Huh? Oh, Mr. Benny. Here it comes. Look out. I think it's too high. You'll have to run for it. Faster! You better jump for it. Wow! What a catch!
Say, that was a good catch, Mary. How'd you do it?
I don't know, but you could buy me a new girdle for Christmas.
I will.
Say, Mr. Benny, you know you haven't been to a single meeting of the Beavers Club since the 1st of September.
I know, Stevie. It's unfortunate that you hold your meetings on Sunday afternoon because, you see, every Sunday I do a radio program and every third Sunday I do a television show.
Oh, well, you know you get fined a nickel for every meeting you miss.
I know. I've been trying to get my broadcast changed. Well, we'll talk about it later. Come on, Mary, we better get down to the market. Gee, these supermarkets are so big, I always get lost in them.
Jack, there's the poultry department over there.
Oh, yes. Come on, Mary, let's walk over to the counter and we'll,
Hello, Mr. BEENY.
Well, Mr. Kitzel! Mr. Kitzel, what are you doing working in the poultry department?
Well, I got the job on account of my uncle.
Oh, he owns the market?
No, I owe him money.
Oh, well, look, Mr. Kitzel, I want to buy a turkey. Are they very expensive? You mean they're that high?
Come here a minute.
Huh?
Step closer. Do you know what turkeys are selling for today?
No.
Come a little closer.
Huh?
Lean over a little.
What?
63 cents a pound.
Well, why did you have to bring me over there?
I don't want the turkeys to get conceited.
Gee, 63 cents a pound. That's a lot of money for turkeys.
Say, they got to live too.
I suppose so. Say, Mary, look at those turkeys lying there, so cold and still. Just think, a few days ago they were happy, carefree, and gay. And now they're 63 cents. Now they're dead. Mr. Kitzel, how old were these turkeys when they were killed?
About 8 months.
Didn't even have a chance to live. I feel terrible.
You'd feel a lot worse if they were 73 cents a pound.
I suppose so. But I don't know, Mary, when I see that turkey lying there like that, I can't help but think of its mother. Gee, how lonesome she must be.
Don't worry, that's her laying right next to him.
Oh.
Say, Jack, while you're getting the turkey, I better shop around and get some things for the stuffing.
I think I have everything at home, Mary.
What about cracker crumbs?
Plenty.
Stale bread?
2 loaves.
Oysters?
1 can.
Sage?
39.
What?
Oh, I thought you said age. I thought... Yes, we have everything.
Well, Mr. BEENY, what's your pleasure if I can be so pleasant?
Well, I'd like to get a live turkey, about 25 pounds.
Live turkeys are over there, down by the end of the counter.
Oh, yes. I think I'll take that one on the right. It looks nice and plump.
Put on your glasses. That's my wife.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I wish I could get 63 cents a pound for her.
What?
Nothing. I'm daydreaming.
Now, Mr. Kitzel, what would you suggest?
Well, if you want a nice live turkey, how's about this one over here?
Say, Jack, this one's nice and plump.
Oh, I've seen turkeys look plump, but they were all feathers. I'm going to feel this one myself. Hold still, turkey.
You and your cold hands.
Well, how much does this turkey weigh?
About 160 pounds.
I thought so. Why does this turkey weigh so much?
He's also an English horse.
Oh. Well, all right, Mr. Kitzel, we'll take this turkey. Come on, turkey. Come on, I'll take you home. Come on, Mary.
Jack, look out. The turkey's getting away.
Quick, Mary, try to grab him. He's running out in the street.
Jack, the car almost ran over the turkey and killed him.
I'm sure glad it didn't. Mel Blanc is too important to this program.
Yeah.
Come on, Mary, let's go home.
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first a word to cigarette smokers.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. For Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, richer tasting, fine tobacco.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike.
Friends, if you've ever stopped to single out the one thing that gives you real smoking enjoyment, chances are that taste was your answer. Why, certainly. Smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. The fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky's taste so much better because, first, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. And then, two, Lucky's are actually made better. Made round and firm and fully packed to draw freely and smoke evenly. And because Lucky's do taste better, they'll make wonderful Christmas gifts for your family and friends. So look for the bright and cheerful Lucky Strike Christmas carton, specially created by the famous designer Raymond Loewy. You'll find these Christmas cartons of Lucky's wherever you buy cigarettes. Yes, at Christmas time or any time, a carton of Lucky's is most welcome, for it's always good taste to give and to smoke better tasting Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go lucky for Christmas gifts this year.
Well, Rochester, the gang will be over this evening for Thanksgiving dinner. Is everything ready?
Yes, sir.
Then put the turkey in the oven.
But, boss.
Do as I say. Put the turkey in the oven.
But, boss.
Rochester, I'm telling you to put the turkey in the oven.
Now, wait a minute. This has gone far enough. After all, I'm a human being.
Oh, Mel, you spoiled the whole illusion. Good night, folks.
The Jack Benny program is written by Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balzer, John Tackerberry, Al Gordon, Hal Goldman, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Marks.
That's your old-time radio fix for this week. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Be sure to subscribe to The Chronic Rift on iTunes or visit us frequently at chronicrift.com.
Hit it! Ding-a-ding-a-doo, a-ding-a-ding, a-dink-a-doo. What a voice! What a voice! Simply means ink. A-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dee. Good night, folks. Signing off.
Bing Crosby loves Minute Maid.
Here's wonderful news for you and me, that Minute Maid gives more vitamin C. So why squeeze orange juice yourself?
When doctors say
Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health. Yes, Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health.
That's right. Penny for penny, fresh frozen Minute Maid is even better for your health than home-squeezed orange juice. You see, Minute Maid buys only special oranges, blends and freezes the juice in a special way. Result is, penny for penny, you get more of these precious vitamins and minerals. Vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B, iron, calcium, which all adds up to healthier teeth, sturdier bones, better growth, rich red blood, and more vitality. No other frozen orange juice offers proof of these results.
All those vitamins and minerals. That's for me, boy. Remember, Minute Maid orange juice is better for your health